Hey guys, I received an email from Steve and he wanted to know why is he struggling when he gets up to race intensity on race day. This is a really important concept for you guys to understand because what we refer to as the familiarity principle is the difference between racing to your capabilities or racing below what you know you're capable of. When we're working with our clients, what's most important is that you're training with an up-to-date max heart rate number. We try to not let that number be more than 6, at the most 8 weeks old. And what we're doing is we're working off of the max heart rate specific to that discipline. We're using a 4-week moving average for the resting heart rate. And this heart rate spreadsheet, you can actually find it in the description box below. So please make sure that you leverage it. When we're looking at racing at an intensity level that your body's familiar with, remember, it becomes absolutely imperative that you understand cross-training has to match the intensity levels that you're trying to achieve on race day. The difference is the max heart rate is indigenous to each form of training that you're doing. So for example, running is going to have a higher heart rate than cycling. Cycling is going to have a higher heart rate than swimming. The more muscle you use, the higher the max heart rate number. Where you can make an indelible difference is you can train your lactate threshold for something different than what you're training for. So for those of you that follow us in the motocross side of things, if you know what your max heart rate is on the rower, you can train that race intensity. Let's say it's high zone 3, low zone 4. You can train that on the rower much safer than you can do on the motorcycle. Once you familiarize yourself with what that heart rate feels like, it's tough, it's difficult. The demands on the muscular system, it's tough, it's difficult. But behind the scenes, what we want to really know is what is your calorie burn rate and what is your sweat rate. You need to familiarize your body with the ability to deliver oxygen, dissipate lactic acid, and be able to sustain it for the duration of the race itself. Now you could apply this to running. So for example, with our triathletes, we can work on your running threshold on the bicycle with less impact. We can work on your cycling threshold with less impact using swimming. So the idea here is about cross-germinating all forms of training, but zooming out at the end of the week and asking yourself, what is it that you need to be focusing on? Taking into consideration residual fatigue. We don't want to stack too many hard days back to back. But when I get the question, why am I struggling on race day? The biggest area that we see is we haven't familiarized the body on what that intensity feels like. That's called the familiarity principle. We haven't trained the body to deliver enough oxygen and dissipate lactic acid, and we really haven't done a good job of understanding what the sweat rate is associated with that intensity. So I thought this was a brilliant question, and I hope this starts to clarify you can cross-train to still get the benefits for your desirable sport and that race day outcome. You just have to know what the max heart rate is for your cross-training modality. If you happen to have any questions on this subject, or if you happen to have any questions on anything that you may be struggling with, please do me a favor and send us an email. You can do so at contact@coachrobb.com. Every morning we're launching another video answering your questions. There is no silly question. A lot of times people don't even know what to ask, so please don't hesitate to send it in. We have seen an abundance of questions coming in, so I want to say thank you for feeling comfortable to do so. Also remember to subscribe. Make sure that you turn on your notifications. Every morning we'll put a new video out, and that way you'll be aware of it. Thank you for watching this video, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.